All right, so we're diving into modern interior design today.
Okay.
We're cracking open modern interior design ideas. And, you know, I gotta say, this guide isn't just about like picking out the perfect sofa.
Right.
It really digs into like the why behind the style.
Yeah,
Like, yeah,
absolutely. It's about making a space that, looks amazing, sure, but it's also got to reflect how we actually live today.
yeah, for sure. And one of the things that jumped out to me right away was all about neutral colors. Like we're
Oh.
talking whites, grays, beiges, the classics.
Mhm.
But here's the thing, it's not about being boring. The guide suggests using these colors like a blank canvas.
Right.
And then, bam, you hit it with these bold accent colors.
Exactly. It's like, think about art for a second, a neutral background.
Yeah.
Makes those bright colors just pop, right?
Coolly.
And that actually connects to like a core idea in modern design,
Yeah.
simplicity.
Simplicity to make what matters stand out. Okay, I like that. So it's not just the color on the walls, right? It's about what you choose to put on them or how you even divide the space. The guide talks about these open floor plans, fewer walls, more flow. What's the deal with that?
Well, it's all about making things feel bigger, more spacious, and having that connection between, your living spaces,
Uh-huh.
which actually makes sense now, right? People use their homes for so many different things.
Yeah.
But the guide makes a good point. It shouldn't feel like, this giant empty box. Ever notice how some of those really modern homes use rugs, area rugs,
Oh, yeah,
to like define the different areas in an open layout?
I have seen that, but I never thought about it, like, on purpose. Like, you're using the rugs to make invisible walls. That's so smart.
It's subtle, and it actually plays into this whole idea of minimalism, which
Okay.
the guide talks about a lot too. It's not about having an empty house or anything,
Mhm.
but like you got to be intentional with every single thing you bring in.
So each piece of furniture, like, earns its keep.
Exactly.
Ah.
And ideally, it can do more than one thing. Like, picture this. You got this super sleek ottoman, right?
Right.
But it opens up and boom, storage space.
Oh?
Or a coffee table that transforms into a dining table when you need it to.
I love that.
That multifunctionality, super important in modern design, especially when you don't have a ton of space.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense, especially in, like, cities and stuff.
Yeah.
So cool. It's like those transforming furniture robots you see in movies, but, actually stylish.
Right.
Okay, so I have to admit, when I picture modern design, I think, like, metal, glass, all sleek, kind of futuristic.
Mm-hmm.
But this guide surprised me. It's big on natural materials, too.
Yeah. It's about balance, right? You're totally right. Those sleek materials, that's modern design for sure. But adding in those natural elements, wood, stone, even leather, it just warms things up, brings a little of the outdoors in.
It's true. It's, like, more inviting, cozier that way.
Hmm.
Speaking of bringing the outdoors in.
Exactly.
Okay, go on.
And that actually ties into this whole other thing called biophilic design.
Biophilic design.
Yeah. It's about bringing nature into, like, buildings and stuff to make them better for us.
Okay, interesting. Biophilic design, huh? I would have to look more into that.
Yeah, it's really...
But even with, like, natural elements and stuff, I feel like modern design could be kind of cold if
Yeah.
you're not careful,
Oh, for sure. It's a common thing people think. But this guide, it talks about that, especially with lighting. It's not just about having a ton of light. It's about, like, layers. You got to mix the natural light and the artificial light. It's how you get that depth and, like, set the mood.
Oh, yeah, totally. Like, you ever notice how some restaurants, they just always have this perfect vibe,
Right.
no matter what time it is?
Yeah.
If they've got that whole lighting thing figured out. But okay, so switching gears a bit, what about technology? We're talking modern design. Shouldn't there be, like, cool gadgets and stuff?
Absolutely, it talks about that too. It's all about integrating it seamlessly. Like, you don't want to see the tech.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Hidden wires, smart home systems, all that. Control your lights, the temperature, all with just your voice. Pretty cool stuff.
Okay, now that's what I'm talking about. That's like futuristic, but actually doable. Seamless is key, though, for sure. I don't want my living room looking like, mission control or anything. Speaking of the future, the guide also talked about sustainability. What's the connection to modern design there?
That's a big one, for sure. These days, modern design, it's got to be about more than just looking good. It's about making choices that are good for the planet, too.
Makes sense.
The guide talks about using eco-friendly materials, things like bamboo, reclaimed wood, and energy-efficient appliances, of course, to, like, reduce your footprint and all.
Okay, yeah, I like that. It's about being stylish and sustainable. But let's be honest, even with all the, natural materials and eco-friendly stuff, a space can feel kind of impersonal without, some of you in it. What's the guide say about adding, like, personality to a modern design?
It's all about the details, right? Like adding little touches here and there, but not like clutter, you know?
Right. Got to keep that minimalism in check.
Exactly. Think statement pieces. Maybe it's like a really cool painting, a big one.
Oh, I like that.
Or a sculpture.
Right.
Or even just like a collection of vintage books, but, displayed in a modern way.
Oh, I see what you mean. It's about those pieces that make people go, ooh, tell me about this.
Exactly. Those conversation starters. Modern design isn't about being boring. It's about telling your story, you know?
Yeah, I love that. Making it personal. So, okay, we've talked about colors, materials. What about the furniture itself?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, what makes a piece of furniture modern?
Well, clean lines are super important.
Okay, like, what does that even mean?
Think like sleek shapes, geometric designs, that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
So you probably won't see a ton of those super ornate pieces with all the carvings and stuff,
Not that there's anything wrong with that style. It's just,
Nah.
yeah,
Totally.
it's just, a different vibe.
Right, exactly. Modern design, it's all about keeping things sleek and simple.
So less is more kind of thing.
Exactly. Imagine, a sofa with clean lines, maybe some cool tapered legs, or a coffee table made from like a single slab of marble,
Okay. Yeah.
It's about letting the materials and the shape speak for themselves.
So instead of like a bunch of fancy details, it's more about, making a statement with the shape and the texture of it all.
You got it. And as we wrap up this deep dive into modern design, I want to leave you with this thought.
Okay, I'm listening.
It's so easy to get caught up in, all the rules and what's trendy and all that. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is that you're creating a space that feels like you.
That makes a lot of sense. It shouldn't just look good in a magazine, right? It has to feel good to actually live in.
Exactly. Couldn't have said it better myself.
So, when you're starting your own modern design adventure, just remember, it's not just about the final product. It's about enjoying the journey.
Yeah.
Figuring out what you like and creating a space that brings you joy.
Absolutely.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's deep dive into modern interior design. Huge thanks to our expert for, sharing all these awesome insights.
My pleasure.
And to all of you listening, thanks for coming along for the ride. Now, you'll excuse me, I've got some serious redecorating to do. This has been The Deep Dive. We'll catch you next time.
We've talked a lot about the visual aspects of modern design, but what about the other senses? How can you use scent, sound, and texture to create a truly immersive and personalized experience in your modern space? Think soft textiles, calming scents, and maybe even a curated playlist to set the mood.